All right, next is some.
Disco, I think you missed one. If you want to look back, the title's Mailbag. It's from Ryan Keft. It was right before Harry, and I think you missed it.
Oh, I think that's the one we did right before. Yeah, I didn't read this when Conan left. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Next is from Ryan Keft, and the subject is mailbag. Good day, fellas. I'm in between yourself and Conan for my personal taste in wrestling. Modern day style, but with a sense of realism. I generally enjoy Alvarez's take on wrestling, but during his review for the Omega match against Ospreay, he, along with all the other Mark podcaster personalities, were almost climaxing over it. One thing he referenced that he said it's a class above their last match was the kick out at one from the One Winged Angel. Please tell me how the most protected move of the last decade when used by Omega makes a match much better when it's a kick out at one when used by anyone else. Not to mention the incessant kickouts by Omega from all of Ospreay finishers hit more than once. I had a near brain aneurysm when I heard it. Thanks, boys. I'm not going to criticize Brian for liking this type of match. I just don't. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, this is like, I'm not. Here's all I'm saying. Okay, there's a certain style of professional wrestling today. I would suggest that, like, I think it's going a bit too far away from, having. If you want to draw fans, I think you're doing enough stuff in the work today, which is turning fans away. It used to be WWE was the reason people would cringe at the WWE product is because the booking, the segments was so cringe and corny, the backstage segments, the 24/7 stupid skits, and like there was so much cringy stuff, and like people just would stop watching. Right? I'm saying that enough stuff. You guys are doing enough stuff in the wrestling today that is causing people to stop watching, and I would argue that. All right, I think the thigh slapping, the Japanese forearm spot, and the fact that everybody and their mother does dives now, and everybody stands there to catch them. When it wasn't that frequent on the shows, we didn't really notice it. But now it's a copycat business, and people see the stuff that they think gets over, so everybody's copying it gets over, and now everybody's doing stuff that should be doing less frequently during the matches. And I think we could all agree on that. But like, how are you going to convince the wrestlers to stop slapping their thighs? To stop, bro. It's like if you're going to slap your thigh, okay, it has to be a super kick. The guy has to take a bump. You have to cover him, and you have to get a false finish out of it at least. Because of the concept of Shawn Michaels, when Shawn Michaels would slap his thigh, when you do the super kick, he would do the thing before that. Remember, he'd do the foot stomp, boom, boom. Boom. He'd be in the corner, right? And be stomping his foot. And the crowd would be like, they'd be clapping along. Boom, boom. And he'd do the super kick. He would slap the thigh, but he wouldn't just overhand slap it. He would bring his foot up and like smack his hand down in very short motion so you kind of didn't really notice it. Mm-hmm. But it would make the sound that you cracked the guy's jaw. And he would cover him and he would beat him. Okay? That's why he would do that with the thigh slap. So when you're doing the thigh slap and you're simulating the sound that you're cracking the guy's jaw and the guy doesn't even sell, it's stupid. It's like, why are you even doing that? And now that to the point that a lot of the girls do this, bro, you kick somebody in the stomach and they're slapping their thigh.
Yeah,
there's never that's impossible to happen. It's a leather boot and a belly. You're never going to get a smacking sound out of that. So you're doing stuff, and you're doing it very openly for everybody to see that makes it look like, okay, this match is fake. I'm simulating the sound because I'm not really hitting the person, or I'm not tough enough. Bro, if I was on TV, I would call out the thigh slappers as a bunch of to say, you guys have to simulate the sound of hitting somebody because you're not tough enough to make them hurt. And I would say that. And like see if as I say it on national television, and call it out and see if anybody can.
You know whose character could say that and really get away with it? And he's supposed to be coming here soon.
Who?
And remind me to tell him, Joe, Fandango.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
He'd be
Dirty Bingo.
Yeah. That would be perfect shtick for him.
Right.
Call out the thigh slappers. You guys are I'm going to go
write that down so I don't forget, Joe.
I'm going to wrestle some guys that's going to come out here and slap his thigh and pretend he's hurting me. Trying to lie to the audience and pretend he's like hurting me by slapping his thigh. Like he's like,
right. What is the percentage that you think Joe does not remind me?
Well, he's writing it down. He is writing it down.
Okay, no, that's good because I had to tell him. But
right.
What is the percentage that he somehow forgets?
I got it. At,
Give me the over under
40%.
40%.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
say
40%. 40%. How much?
I'd say
You say
60.
60?
Yeah, I
It's even
suck.
higher.
I got no
It's
memory.
even higher.
Conan has been
Even
doing
though
it.
you write it down, that's what you do when you don't have a good memory. You write
I
it
know.
down and you look at it every
Well,
day. And
the cat pees on the pad, and it's like you can't read it.
But I wanted to say, just to put this into context and then see what you guys think of it. The spot he described, it's late in the Omega Ospreay match. Ospreay's got the advantage. So he puts Kenny up in the one-winged angel. Wham! He's using his own move against him to show him up. And Kenny kicks out immediately at one.
Kicks out at one and does the Hulk Hogan kind of hulk up on his
Right.
knees, like, no,
You use my finisher, that kind of thing. Is that,
Right.
what do you think about that?
Bro, that's not that's
Nothing to
if they
complain about.
if they think that's like psychology, and you've had 25 other kickouts during the match, it's like that's not psychology to me.
Now remember, it's
Well,
a move. It's a move no one's ever kicked out of when Kenny does it, right? So
Right.
yeah.
right. So here's the thing. I like how this guy said he likes the modern style with a twist of realism. Is that what he said?
What? Let me see. The exact words were.
Modern day style with a sense of realism. Yeah, you know it.
Right. Modern day
that's
style.
what that's what I would like. That's what I like too. Now, here's the thing about like the super kick. The problem is, Glenn, the super kick, which used to be used as a finish, the first guy I ever saw do was Chris Adams.
Right.
Okay?
You did a good one too.
Right, and it was a finish, and you bought it as a finish, right? Then Shawn Michaels, who always used it as a finish, and went into the corner, stomped his foot. But somewhere, somehow, people figured out, let's use this as a high spot because it gets a pop. And people are
Japan started getting
Japan.
Absolutely. And you know how these guys have embraced Japanese wrestling. They started seeing all these guys.
Yeah, but in Japan they weren't. But then Japan they weren't hitting their thigh. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So they started to use the super kick and then adding the thing because it would get a pop because it's only done once a match.
Right.
But now you do it in every single match various times. It looks silly,
Right.
and that's the problem. It's almost like before, if you remember. Bro, remember Dory Funk's? See if you remember Dory Funk's finisher.
Step over toe hold?
Yeah, the step over toe hold. Yeah.
Okay, and there was another one. Believe it or not, this was his finish in Florida.
Oh, the double the suplex, right?
Right.
Double underhook, right? Yes.
Right. That's not a finish anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's a false finish. Like there's so many things now that aren't finishes anymore that they use them as high spots because that's just the way the business goes. But I just think that I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a good match. But you're very right. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned out of wrestling, which makes it look really bad. Because, and I always tell wrestlers, do you not watch your matches back on TV? Do you not see how many times this is being done? Do you not see how bad it looks?
Well, bro, remember when we'd go over finishes and we'd be on TV and we'd be doing a spot and we'd be second match on the show, and we'd be like, hey, we need to kind of tell everybody we're doing this for a false finish or a finish. So, and it would be a basic finish, like a backslide. Right. Hey, we're doing a backslide, and you tell the other guys, hey, we're doing a backslide for a finish earlier. So don't we just say you basically just make sure that all the moves aren't repeated ad nauseum on the show. Like they are now, because it doesn't seem like the guys talk to the other guys go to eventually because they're all doing the exact same spot. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're just trying to get pops. That's the problem.
Right. This is an interesting email. Sean Burgess, unimpressive Japanese wrestlers, and RFK. Hi, gents. I hope all is well. Love the content weekly. I don't normally watch wrestling, but watch the odd bits here and there, so I know what you're discussing. I decided to watch a bit of the build of Forbidden Door, and I have to say that other than Okada, who I think could be great in WWE, I wasn't impressed by the look of any of these Japanese wrestlers. They all look old, chubby blokes, and I see online all the time about how great their work is, and I wasn't impressed with that either. Tanahashi literally looked like he'd won a competition to give wrestling a try, and the less said about Suzuki, the better. When are we going to accept that this industry, ratings and who watches, is massively impacted by the eye test? Someone has to catch the eye. Nothing I saw impressed me or sucked me in to watch again other than Okada. I hate to sound like a hater, but it's hard to like. Sorry for the rant. From Ken Brzezinski, Music Debate Redux. Hope y'all doing well, especially K-Dog with his health. Heard you guys Van Halen Hager debate. What's your opinion on the early era Sabbath versus late Dio era Sabbath? Personally, it's odds or nothing for me. Oh my god. Is that an actual discussion that has been in Joe? Has that ever been brought up?
Yeah, who was the better?
Like Rodney James Dio with Black Sabbath as opposed to Ozzy?
Right. Yes.
Like, what would you say the percentage of people that think Ronnie James Dio is better than Ozzy in Black Sabbath?
30 to 40%.
30 to no way.
Yeah.
Really?
There's hardcore Dio fans.
That many?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god! I would say Ozzy Osbourne 90%. Like he's a face of that.
Though I will say this, Dio was not a bad replacement.
He won, but
no, he wasn't Ozzy, but he wasn't a bad replacement. You know?
Right. All right. P.S.
Just like that guy that they put on Journey, that sounds just like him. He's incredible. Yeah,
he is.
Because there's some guys that they put in when the guy leaves or fighting with the group or passes away, and you're like, what?
Yeah, right.
P.S. Thanks for all the great content. You guys are my Sunday afternoon ritual when I listen to you while I'm splashing around my pool. I guess you could say I'm addicted to the Wade.
This guy's name?
Ken Brzezinski's how many weeks?
You're addicted to the block. You're out of here. You're suspended. And anybody, I already told you.
Baby.
Yeah. Okay, I already told people that to stop that.
Yeah, and they're continuing. They're purposely doing it to aggravate.
Now they're trying to antagonize us. And the next thing that's going to happen is he just won't read the letter at all if it contains any addicted to anything stupidity. Go send that to Get My Ghost. They'll put you over, probably give you, I don't know, but don't do it here.
So Ken is suspended, correct?
I think that's what I said.
100%. Nexus and Funk.
Go home and get your shine box.